So the more AEW discourse continued over the weekend. The David Zaslav was doing an interview, and he made the mistake of he might have told the truth in public, which if you're an executive, you probably shouldn't
It's a
do that.
rough one.
Yeah, but he came out and said, and I think it was covered by Forbes magazine, that live sports has not really made a difference on HBO Max on the platform, which caused a big stir in the wrestling community because if you go to HBO Max, if you want to watch AEW, you have to go to the sports tab. And I've been complaining about this forever, and that's why I never really thought that they did that well on HBO Max because it's not on the front page. You have to go to a different tab, or you have to run a search for it if you want to watch it after the fact. And which I think is annoying. I think it should just be on the front page, but whatever. So it's considered a sport on HBO Max, but it's considered entertainment on TNT and TBS. So that became like a whole thing. But I think at bottom line is it doesn't sound like any live sports, including AW, is doing all that well on HBO Max.
What does it mean? I mean, realistically, I know the ratings for just about everything are really down right now, especially
Really
wrestling.
down.
So, like, if you're getting 300,000-400,000, like in the grand scheme, that's not a whole lot of anything. But for the AEW's total viewership, it helps them.
I mean,
You know,
dude, I think if AEW got 300,000-400,000 on Max, I think they'd be doing backflips. I don't think it's anywhere near that.
I don't know if it's on it. Like
In NBA, the conversion rate for NBA is like 10% to streaming from cable to streaming.
What's NBA getting right now?
It's like million 4, sometimes upwards of 2 million, depending on the matchup. So
you're getting 100,000, roughly.
Yeah. So the 10% conversion rate for AEW, they were at what, like 490 something, like close to 5. You're talking 50,000.
Wow, they'd be a lot lower than
I
thought it would be. Well,
which is kind of what I would like.
It's shocking if that's, and this is why, and there's the thing though, is this is why we don't know, and we don't know what these numbers are. And like, I've always been suspect on Nielsen to begin with because it was always kind of a shot in the dark. So like, the fact that companies are, has the streaming bubble burst, Mike? I think maybe it has.
I think so. And this whole thing with ESPN and YouTube TV is kind of telling me so. And then I think cable is more popular than we had thought. Like, I know it's dying, but once YouTube TV lost ESPN, it became a huge story. And ESPN is trying to drive subscribers to their over-the-top app. It's like $30 a month, and that's how you get the WWE. And people just aren't going. They're just holding out. Like, people are finally like putting their foot down. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting another subscription. Pat McAfee works for ESPN, and he said, "No, I'm putting my foot down. I'm not subscribing to the new ESPN. I'm not doing it. I have YouTube TV because of Red Zone, and I'm going to stick with that." Like, a lot of people are finally standing up against it because these streaming prices are out of control. There's way too many streamers. If you want to watch all the NFL or all the NBA, you have to have like 10 different subscriptions. It's ridiculous.
I think it's funny that Zaslav said that too, when he's in the process of, he's the bell, which we haven't talked about. He is the bell of the ball right now. There's, and I mentioned this to you because when the Paramount leak happened a month and a half ago, I said, let's hold on this because everybody's already saying this. I said, let's put a pin in this. JD was on something.
Yeah.
Warner does not want to, Zaslav does not want to sell to Paramount, mainly because a lot of what Paramount wants to do, the new Paramount, they want to have like, and the people are concerned about the MAGA stuff. I'm more concerned with like, they want to have like a full AI developed film studio.
Yeah.
Like, they just want AI films. I think that's stupid and very, very short-sighted, not because it's going to happen, but I don't think the market wants that yet. They may in the future, but right now, like if you're going to put out a Superman movie that's all AI, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think the market wants that. People still, the one thing that is bankable is like star power, and you can't create star power.
Thank you.
Like, and the thing is, this Ellison guy is complete and total. Like, the thing with rich people, and I want us all to understand this: rich people live in this little bubble, right? and they think that what they perceive the world to be is what it really is. And occasionally rich people have to have that bubble popped to realize that not everybody gives a flying fuck about what bothers rich people. Take New York City last week for an example, right? There's a lot of rich people that are like, well, how could I? And that's, I'm not going to do the politics thing right now, but that's how this happens. So Zaslav does not seem to be entertaining the notion of being purchased by Paramount. The administration's like, it's pretty much the only thing they're going to approve. Comcast has come out and said, we're interested. Amazon has come out and said, we're interested. Everybody's interested. Paramount's threatening a hostile takeover. So Zaslav, and he's gotten a lot of shit as the CEO of Warner Brother Discovery. He's really playing this whole thing very, very well, and he's going to make a lot of people a lot of money eventually.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Paramount gets it, but Netflix is also throwing their name in the hat here to buy it, which would be really interesting.
I'm not sold because I think there's stuff in the air, my friend. I think there's stuff in the air. I don't think they could. I mean, they could. It's hard to stop a hostile takeover, but I mean, if all Warner's got to do is spin that thing out, and they're gonna have to start buying up multiple things. So I mean, Zaslav does hold all the cards right now. The economy being what it is what's driving a lot of interesting things. And I just, I don't know, man. Revealing the truth about the streaming, I mean, it makes me wonder how much longer live sports on HBO Max will be a thing if Zaslav's already saying those kind of things, which tells me he just doesn't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, it probably would be doing better if he still had NBA, and it might be just sour grapes because he lost the NBA, but
a lot of that.
I think Peacock seems to be pretty happy with NBA on Peacock, but I don't know. NFL's doing really good on Amazon, but hold on. Antonio just had a great point, and I think that this is something that we need to talk about.
Later.
He goes, I mean, they just announced the Jetsons live action movie, which makes me happy. Gremlins 3 is going to happen. I think that's probably the biggest story of the week. Let's talk Gremlins 3.
One of my dearest friends tagged me on Facebook to let this know. So, true story. I used to write for Mike's website. That's really how our friendship kind of started. Is I got HBO Max actually, and I was like, I wanted to do it was during the pandemic, and I had nothing better to do, so I was watching a bunch of movies. I'm like, I want to review old movies. Who wants this? And Mike's like, I do. So I literally was writing, and I think one of the first ones I did was Gremlins, because
Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Yeah,
it is a Christmas movie, and I will have that argument with anybody because Christmas it's not a movie that takes place during Christmas. Batman Returns is a movie that takes place during Christmas. Christmas drives the story. All the decisions made in that movie are driven by Christmas.
It's a Christmas gift, right? Like
it's literally a Christmas gift. Everything is shut down because it's Christmas. Christmas literally is the driver of the story. And it is my all-time favorite Christmas movie because I'm sick and fucking twisted. But yes, I am so stoked that not only are we getting Gremlins 3, Chris Columbus and Steven Spielberg are heading this thing up. So
I think if that combination, if they weren't doing it, I don't know that I'd be all that interested. I think we have to have those guys on it if it's gonna work, because I mean, it was their vision to begin with, and I think the vision only works with them at the helm.
Oh, 100%. Like look at what happened. James Mangold's a hell of a director. Like Walk the Line, Logan. Like, he's made some really good movies. He made Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny with Steven Spielberg kind of half paying attention, and George Lucas. Oh, George Lucas didn't because they'd sold it. It is trash. So it's far, like, Crystal Skull was bad, but Dial of Destiny is way worse. So, I mean, like, you need to have original, and they're getting older, but Chris Columbus has still proved that he can make some really damn good movies. And I'd love to see him get one more shot with his creation, because he created Gremlins. And I would love to see what he's got for the third installment. Now that, geez, Billy Peltz is probably old enough to be a grandfather.
Yeah. So here, Peacock's NBA viewership on opening night reached 1 million average viewers. So 1 million on Peacock, that's pretty good. I don't know that it ever got like that on any other streaming service. But
here's what's wild to me is we're sitting there saying, wow, 1 million viewers is pretty good. The NBA on NBC would get tens of millions of viewers.
Yeah. So it says total, the peak viewership was 7.1 on NBC, and then Peacock had 1 million. So like, I guess combined, they they did really good. But I guess the average conversion rate is only 10%. So
it's crazy. It's lower than I thought. It's lower than I thought. I thought it was it'd be better than that. So perhaps our friend got fed some. I hate that people come after him about that like he made it up. I know for a fact he was told that.
Yeah, he didn't make that up.
No.
And in fact, the way he talked about it, he was talking about it more like viewership on YouTube. How like you can go in and come out and go in and come out. Like you're counted every time you go in and come out, right? Like it's a total views thing versus average viewership, which is measured differently. So whenever I talk about we have to talk about the viewership on Max because we've been covering the story since the beginning. So we have to figure as we get new details, we're going to cover it. But nothing that we're saying is discounting anything that BJ said. So.
No, here's the thing too: is people don't understand what viewership means, and they never really have. Like when you talk, it was really more complicated in the '80s. We talked about households and shares, and it was you figure it was 2.5 views per household, and it's just, there's a very complicated math equation that when you broke it down really never made sense, but the advertisers were like, well, it's good enough. And that's kind of still the thing is advertisers are like, well, it's good enough. It's guesses. It's not 100% accurate. And if the advertisers are still willing to pay, that's what matters. The question is with streaming, everybody was all in on streaming. I think we talked about it too, that being the future. And maybe everybody I think the problem is WWE was so far ahead of the curve when they did their own over-the-top streaming service, right? And then they're in on all this stuff, but now everybody's kind of doing what they did, and everybody's finding the same result. Everybody's like, we're going to have our own. Like if ESPN is struggling to create this thing, how else is anybody else going to? You know what I'm saying? Like these streaming platforms just don't have the weight.
No, they don't. But I think that and BJ actually said this to me like a couple of days ago, that HBO Max will be counted with the new panel whatever data ratings. It'll be counted just like everything else, and it'll be published. So soon the argument is going to be over, and we'll finally get to the bottom of it. And we'll never know what their peak was because AEW's lost so many viewers over the years, but we'll know what they are at the time that we get them. So
I think we have to face the fact that AEW is just a victim of where pro wrestling in general is right now. SmackDown viewership is falling. Raw viewership, whatever, who knows what it is. Netflix doesn't really. Netflix is very cloak and dagger about what they do. Like everything is in the freaking toilet right now compared to what it was. And we used to make jokes, 6-7 years ago about, well, man, remember the Attitude Era, what Raw was. I mean, now you'd like, wow, I'd love to have those old 2017, 2018 numbers.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. And everything is fucking terrible. So you have to look at everything else. Like your ticket sale numbers, and WWE starting to find that AEW-ish thing where your big shows are selling great, but your run-of-the-mill shows aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, the peak of WWE is definitely over. Now they do have another big show coming up in Boston. That's the John Cena show. One of the John Cena shows. All the ones that he's going to be on are going to be over 10,000. But I mean, they got SmackDowns recently that are 3,000 and 4,000, which would have been 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 just a year ago. So
Dave brought up a good point too. Is what happens next year when Cena's gone? You don't have a hot program willing to go. I know Triple H, hallowed be thy name, the greatest booking genius of all time, who's overseen this downfall.
Thank you for clarifying that, JD. We got to make sure it's like a disclaimer. We have to say that.
Have to say it every time, or they show up in our mentions. Oh, speaking of showing up in our mentions, we got a YouTube comment this week from a 2-year-old show.
Yes.
About the NWA.
Defending the cocaine spot on NWA TV.
This was great. Mike sent this to me. I feel like I have to talk about this because it's so damn funny.
Yeah.
Remember 2 years ago around Halloween time? So exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They had a thing where James Mitchell and the prostitutes were doing cocaine on the show. And the talk was, are they going to lose their CW deal because of it? And we kind of said, yeah. And some guy flamed us. That's bullshit. Not in today's world. You guys are dumb.
Well,
and Mike
he basically said, he wasn't saying they didn't lose it because they obviously did. He was saying, oh, CW is some woke ass company and they shouldn't have lost it. Everybody's so soft, and you guys, sleazy, you guys are covering pro wrestling. It is sleazy. Okay, yeah, fair point. But It's like NWA was more sleazy than they needed to be, and they ended up losing their television deal because of it.
I just find that hilarious that and that you point out this is a 2-year-old episode that you felt the need to comment on. Like, I forgot we even talked about that. That's absolutely crazy to me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I just popped into my head.
Yeah, Transferring Heat makes a good point. He said, "Need more coke in wrestling." If you ask me, NWA was right. Yeah.
I don't. To be honest, brother, I don't think there's less coke in wrestling right now than there was 2 years ago. Let's be quite frank.